Hello everyone, welcome back to Cinematic Cravings. Today we're going to talk about the One Piece Season 3 cast. And honestly, I'm really excited about what Netflix has done so far. From Ace to Bon Clay, from Cobra to the familiar returning faces we already know, this cast is seriously starting to look impressive, and I think most of these choices fit the characters extremely well. But before we begin, if you enjoy videos like this and want more One Piece updates and casting news, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel because it really helps me out a lot. Now let's get started. Zolo Mardueña as Portgas D. Ace is honestly one of the casting choices I'm happiest about in this Season 3 lineup. After seeing him in Cobra Kai and Blue Beetle, it's easy to understand why Netflix went with him, because he already has that natural charisma, confidence, and warm screen presence that immediately makes him stand out. Ace is not just another cool fighter in One Piece. He's Luffy's sworn brother, one of the most beloved characters in the story, and someone who carries both power and emotional weight every time he appears. That's why this casting feels so exciting to me, because he already gives off that strong, likable, older brother energy that Ace needs, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how he brings that into the live-action version. Cole Escola as Bon Clay is such a bold choice, but in the best possible way, and I honestly think it's a really smart casting decision. Cole is known for a very expressive, theatrical, and unforgettable performance style, and that kind of energy feels perfect for a character like Bon Clay. This is not a role for someone plain or forgettable, because Bon Clay is one of the most colorful, entertaining, and instantly memorable characters in One Piece. He's funny, dramatic, loud, emotional, and completely unique. But he also has real heart, which is what makes fans love him so much. That's exactly why I think this casting works, because Cole has the kind of personality and screen energy that could make Bon Clay feel larger than life, while still keeping that charm and emotion that make the character special. Daisy Head as Miss Doublefinger feels like a very strong and very fitting choice to me, and I really like what this casting brings to the Season 3 lineup. Daisy has already shown in projects like Shadow and Bone that she can carry intensity, confidence, and a very sharp presence on screen, and all of that fits Miss Doublefinger extremely well. In the story, Miss Doublefinger is one of the more dangerous Baroque Works agents, and she needs to feel stylish, deadly, and self-assured from the moment she appears. She's not the kind of villain who should fade into the background, because she's part of the bigger threat building around Crocodile and Alabasta. That's why I think Daisy is such a good choice here, because she has the kind of look and energy that can make Miss Doublefinger feel elegant, threatening, and genuinely cool in live action. Otto as Mr. One is another casting choice that I think works really well, especially because this role depends so much on presence and discipline. Mr. One is not a flashy or overly talkative character. He's calm, cold, controlled, and incredibly dangerous, and that's exactly what makes him such an effective villain in the Alabasta storyline. As one of Crocodile's top men, he needs to feel like a serious threat, someone who brings real weight whenever he steps into a scene. That's why I think Otto is a strong fit for the role, because Mr. One works best when he feels solid, intimidating, and physically believable, and this casting already gives that impression. I really like this choice because it feels clean, focused, and exactly right for a character who is all about deadly precision and quiet menace. Sendil Ramamurthy as Nefertari Cobra is honestly such a great casting choice, and I think Netflix got this one absolutely right. Sendil has already proven himself in projects like Heroes and Never Have I Ever, and he brings a calm, mature, and dignified presence that fits Cobra perfectly. Cobra is not just Vivi's father. He's the king of Alabasta, a ruler trying to protect his people while his country is falling deeper into chaos, and that gives the character a lot of emotional and political importance in the story. He needs to feel noble, wise, caring, and believable as both a king and a father, and I think Sendil has exactly the right energy for that. This is the kind of casting that just makes sense immediately, because he already feels like someone who can carry the emotional seriousness and royal presence that Cobra needs in Season 3. Charithra Chandran as Vivi ended up being a casting choice I liked far more than I expected, because I honestly had some doubts at first. But after seeing her in Season 2, I thought she did a really great job. Of course, a lot of people already knew her from Bridgerton, where she brought elegance, grace, and a very polished screen presence, and that naturally made her feel like a strong fit for a royal character. But Vivi is not just a princess who looks noble. She's emotional, brave, determined, and one of the most important hearts of the Alabasta storyline. So the actress has to bring more than just beauty and class to the role. That's why I'm even more excited going into Season 3, because she already made Vivi feel sincere, likable, and important, and now she'll have the chance to carry even more emotional weight. Yonda Thomas as Igaram is also a casting choice that works really well for me, because he brought the kind of loyalty and seriousness that this character needs. Igaram may not be the flashiest character in the story, but he's still an important part of Vivi's world, and one of the people who help make the Alabasta storyline feel more grounded and emotional. He's protective, devoted, and deeply loyal to both Vivi and the kingdom, so the actor needs to make him feel trustworthy and sincere every time he appears. Yonda Thomas has the presence to do exactly that, and I think he fits the role very naturally. Igaram is one of those supporting characters who can quietly make a big difference in the story, and this casting helps him feel believable and valuable in the live-action version. Joe Manganiello as Crocodile is a casting choice I liked from the moment it was announced, and even though we haven't seen much of him yet, I still think he looks like a very strong fit for the role. Joe is an actor with a naturally commanding presence, and from projects like True Blood and Magic Mike, he already has that intimidating screen energy that a villain like Crocodile absolutely needs. Crocodile is not just another bad guy in One Piece. He's one of the coolest, smartest, and most dangerous early villains in the entire story, and he needs to feel powerful, manipulative, and completely in control. That's why I still feel confident about this casting, and I'm really curious to see how he fully brings the character to life in Season 3. Lyra Abova as Nico Robin is honestly one of my favorite casting choices in this entire live-action series, because I already love Robin as a character so much, and I think Lyra fits her beautifully. Robin is one of the coolest and most intriguing characters in One Piece. She's intelligent, calm, mysterious, elegant, and always carries that feeling that she knows more than everyone else in the room. That's exactly why this casting works for me, because Lyra already has that graceful, unreadable, and captivating presence that Robin needs. Miss All Sunday is also a very important part of the Alabasta arc, because she's not just connected to Crocodile, she also brings a totally different kind of energy compared to the other villains. I really liked what we saw from her, and I'm honestly excited to see even more of Robin in Season 3. And of course, the Straw Hats are returning, with Iñaki Godoy as Luffy, Makinyu as Zoro, Emily Rudd as Nami, Jacob Romero as Usopp, Taz Skylar as Sanji, and Michaela Hoover as Tony Chopper, and honestly, this is the group that already proved why this show works so well. These actors have already made these characters feel alive in live action, and that's why I have so much confidence in them going into Season 3. They understand the heart, chemistry, humor, and emotional energy of this crew, and that's something incredibly important for a story like One Piece. At this point, they've already earned that trust, and now I just want to see them go even further with the bigger scale of the Alabasta storyline. And when it comes to Chopper especially, I really hope Season 3 gives us a lot of adorable, emotional, and memorable moments with him, because he has so much potential to become one of the most lovable parts of the entire crew. So yeah, this is the officially announced One Piece Season 3 cast so far, and honestly, I'm really happy with the lineup Netflix has put together. I think most of these actors are great choices, and I genuinely can't wait to see how characters like Ace, Bon Clay, and Crocodile will be brought to life when Season 3 finally drops. But now I want to hear your thoughts. Which casting choice are you most excited about? And which character do you want to see next in the official Season 3 lineup? Make sure to share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future One Piece videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.